Welcome back to Got No Control podcast. I am your host, Ronek. And before I introduce my special guest today, I want to give a special thank you to our sponsors that help these episodes be possible. 360 Spray Paint. 360 Spray Paint is a spray paint company that is manufactured and distributed out of Mexico, and they aim to offer high quality spray paint to all spray paint enthusiasts. So make sure to check them out at 360 California at 360 Spray Paint. Looking for quality stickers or just want to get some custom graphic stickers printed? Make sure to check out my good people at Sticker LA. StickerLA.com offers high quality stickers, quality you could trust. So make sure to check them out at StickerLA.com and take advantage of code Got No Control to receive 15% off your next order. And with that being said, let me introduce my special guest today, Crie.
What up?
How you doing today, brother?
I'm pretty good. Happy to be here.
I like the name Crie.
Yeah, it's a good name, man. I love it too, honestly.
So let's jump into this, brother. So for those out there that don't know who Crie is, can we talk a little bit about what is home to you?
I grew up in Boyle Heights,
Okay.
so that's where I grew up at, and yeah, basically that's it. I'm from Boyle Heights. I'm just a kid from Boyle Heights. Yeah.
I've noticed that there's been heavy talk in Boyle Heights about gentrification. What is your take on that?
It's always been an issue there.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's a group that fights gentrification
Yeah.
in our area. Like, they fought to keep Mariachi Plaza.
Okay.
And it's like I know a lot of the historic stuff is around First Street,
Okay.
and yeah, they don't take it kindly. Like Boyle Heights is Boyle Heights.
Yeah.
Like it's a strong community. It's a small place.
Yeah.
Word gets around real easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So yeah, you run into
You
people.
being a Boyle Height native, right? Does that take any effect in you? Kind of like you grew up seeing your surrounding a certain way, and now to see it become a whole different thing. Does it kind of affect you in a way?
Uh, well, it kind of like I grew up with it. Like
Okay.
seen all the kind of like the train come in,
Okay.
on First Street before like Man One had painted
Yeah.
the the boards they had put up when they were doing the construction on First Street and Soto.
Okay.
I remember seeing that as a kid. He had painted like angels on it.
Okay.
And at the time I didn't even know it was Man One. I was just a kid.
You were just
Till
watching.
later, yeah, till later, like when I got into graffiti and did my homework and my history, I remembered like seeing it like stuck with me.
Yeah.
And the style was like I knew that was Man One. I'm sure
Gotcha.
he probably if he ever watches this, I mean, he'd be like, yeah, I did
And
paint that.
let me jump into this. How was it at home for a young Cry? Like, do you come from like a massive family, like hundreds of cousins and uncles and aunts, or is it coming out of like a small environment for you?
I came from two immigrant parents.
Okay.
My mom came from El Salvador,
Yeah.
by herself, and then eventually my dad came, because he loved her,
Yeah.
and yeah, so they weren't really like familiar with the culture here,
Okay.
so everything was kind of like
New to them.
evil to them.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't listen to hip hop growing
Oh
up
yeah.
or rock and roll and shit.
Apágale esa chingadera.
Shit like that. Like, my sister used to hide the CDs.
Yeah.
She used to be a punk rocker.
Okay.
She's the one who she was a big rebel,
Okay.
and she went to continuation school. Like didn't do good in school, so went to continuation, and then met homies there. Brought one homie of hers home,
Yeah.
and he had a black book. So
Oh,
that's where like I seen that kind of artwork, and I was like, oh shit, like.
it was the first.
And I was already into drawing like since a kid, like since like elementary and like since basically since birth, bro. Like I've
Okay.
always been into like painting, like
Yeah.
just crayons, anything with color, like to fuck with it.
And just to take a small step back, for those out there that will watch it, don't understand, there's a difference between migrating from Mexico to the United States than El Salvador, because El Salvador is a farther mission
Yeah,
than Mexico, right?
yeah. You gotta like cross basically like two borders, I
Okay.
guess. And then when my sister's an immigrant too. My big
Yeah.
sister,
Okay.
uh, she uh she stayed in Mexico for a while. My
Okay.
mom had some friends there that she had
Yeah.
met, and she stayed there for a while, and then eventually brought her over. And my big sister is like basically my I have, like, multiple moms, bro. I have, like,
Okay.
my madrina, my
Yeah,
mom, my sister, my big sister, and then my mom, you know what I mean?
gotcha.
Mhm.
And I know you mentioned prior to her bringing the friend home, right, with the black book that kind of sparked her interest in graffiti a bit. Prior to that, what do you think is what focused your mind to start becoming creative in an artistic way? Was it watching a cartoon, a comic, or a book?
Dragon Ball Z, bro. Honestly, like, it just the energy it brought and, like, the colors. Like, if you look at the hair, bro, on Goku's head, when he
Yeah,
goes Super Saiyan, it already looks like a letter, bro,
yeah.
like the ending of a letter or some shit, like
I remember
spiky and
I
shit,
remember when I was a kid, bro, and I would go to school, right? I would watch Dragon Ball Z in Spanish. Effects it would say in English would be different in Spanish, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So so when I'm at the playground, it's kind of like, hey, bro, this is not adding up here.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought that was very interesting. I mean, that's far from me,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
And with that being said, rest in peace to the creator, Goku. I know he just passed away.
Yeah, Akira forgot his full name, Akira something.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. They got complicated names, bro.
So you're watching Dragon Ball Z and cartoons and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
And is that what leads you to start kind of like picking up a pencil and sketching, or
Yeah,
how do you go about it?
I was, trying to imitate and come up with my own Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
characters. Everyone starts trying to draw them,
Okay.
and tracing and all that.
Yeah.
And I got into that like heavy, like just trying to draw them and yeah, it was just that for a while. And then um, video games too.
Okay.
There was like that same friend was a neighbor that lived. So we lived in an alley and he lived around the corner and
Yeah.
I became friends with this a young brother.
Okay.
And his young brother was like, their parents were more lenient, so he was like, he had like all the rated R games.
Oh, okay. I
So
see.
I used to go over there and play with him, and he
Yeah.
had like Spawn. So all those like, Spawn, Dragon Ball, like,
Yeah.
dude, when you see them turn Super Saiyan or whatever, like you kind of want to make your piece turn that way. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah. Yeah.
mean? So it's like it kind of has that same, I guess,
Resemblance.
resemblance. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how, like, I guess that's how my brain clicked as a kid. I was like,
Gotcha.
damn, I could make my shit look like cool, like, um,
In your own
make
way.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And at what age? I mean, I know you mentioned how old were you when you seen the black book for the first time through the friend?
I was like in sixth grade,
So
man.
like
So
11.
11, yeah, like
Okay.
11, 12.
And at what point do you kind of tell yourself like, you know what, this is something I think I might want to do?
I think right off the bat, bro, I
Right.
fell in love with it. It was like
Yeah.
love at first sight, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, like it really, like, it just grabbed my attention right off the bat.
And then you go home and come up with a name and then go for it, or was there a procedure to it?
So, I think I just started trying to like do letters
Okay.
at first. My neighbors they got a hold of because there wasn't computers at home. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
didn't have a computer at home, and my neighbors didn't either.
Okay.
So they used to go to the library, and he got a printout of like a alphabet graffiti,
Okay.
like just basic
Yeah.
shit. And
Yeah.
then so we were just there fucking around with it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then eventually come up with our own shit.
Those were popular back in the day, though.
Yeah, like I remember there was one site called Graffiti Creator, and all
Yeah.
the kids used to go on there and like type in their name, and then because everyone had their folders, and they used
Yeah.
to like how do you say it,
Put their names and stuff.
names and shit
Yeah.
inside the sleeves. Yeah, so
Did you ever do the Pepe loves Lucy forever type thing?
I had a lot of kids ask me, man, to do their names, and
Yeah.
I mean at first I would, but after a while I was just like a dick about it, you know.
So you kind of enter the graffiti very lightly, right? Because you seen the black book, you start sketching around and you start doodling. But at what point do you kind of like get fully serious about it? Like, all right, now I'm gonna start picking up some cans and I'm gonna go hit the streets and do my thing.
Uh, you know what? I forgot or how I got to the LA River, man. But the LA River was the place where
Okay.
it like once I snuck away, like I started kind of breaking my own little rules.
Yeah.
Like I would sneak away to the yard and try to find scraps,
Okay.
and like find like a fucked up place where I could like really like, cause I
Just
didn't want to fuck up none of the
yeah,
pieces or
yeah,
get beat up,
yeah,
So like doing that and saving up, grabbing fucking some paint whenever I could
yeah.
and finding other kids that were like into it and they had paint,
Okay.
so or they would like show me how to get it and shit. You
Gotcha.
know what I mean?
So at a point, do you ever run into any like older writer while you're out there, like kind of like trying to figure yourself out?
I've ran into a lot of people at the river, bro. Like I ran into the LAWs. Who else?
And this was early on.
Early. This is early. Like
Uh,
I used to just go in there. I didn't. I think LAWs were the only ones that I've probably
okay.
run into, and they were painting like the dude had his trunk open.
Yeah.
He had his crate, and they were doing the LAW right where the entrance is, by the projects and shit.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
And a lot of people don't understand that the LA riverbed is there's no joke down there. You got a little bit of everything. It's just not graffiti. Like
Yeah,
you have
there's
homeless,
yeah,
you have like drug movement. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, needles and all that.
raccoons, coyotes. Like you have a little bit of everything. It's like its own jungle down there.
Spiders. Yeah, I mean, there's times where I've been in there and I'm like, I don't trust nobody in there if I don't
Yeah,
go in there with them, bro. Like
yeah,
I'll keep my distance, you
yeah.
know. Like I've been in there a couple times, and when I was younger, for early stages, because now it's like I can tell, you know,
Okay,
if the person is gonna like chase me or fucking
gotcha.
be a threat.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, like yeah, I keep my distance. Like I'm not gonna risk it.
And I know you mentioned your parents very strict. So
Yeah,
was it hard to kind of be yourself, developing and then having to kind of hide it at home, or was it mutual for you to maneuver that?
it was hard for me to hide it because we all stayed in a one
Okay,
bedroom
yeah.
type deal.
So they knew everything you were doing.
Yeah, and my mom would just try to monitor it, like just kind of like control it, I guess.
Yeah,
And but she's seen I had potential, you know, and
yeah.
I've always been an artsy fool. So like, um, yeah, I mean, there was a point where I would misbehave and she'd take away my black books and markers, bro, like to fucking because she knew the TV or
Yeah,
anything else wouldn't like
yeah. To get to you.
to get to me and shit. Yeah.
And did you have any influences? Like, were you looking at other writers and kind of like being influenced by them? Like, oh, this is pretty cool. Maybe I could be like that, or make my own style.
Uh, so it kind of goes down to like again, like you know, I didn't really have access to a lot, and in the yards, it was like I seen Atomic up, Cab,
Okay,
you know, and whenever I can get my hands on a computer, I go to 50mm
okay,
and look up in there, and that's where I kind of found uh, the first crew I'm from, BTC,
okay,
and Duck was a big influence to me
okay.
because he was like like doing stuff to the letters at the time, like early 2000s,
It
that like
was new to
people,
you.
yeah, was new to even the style. Like he was innovative, you know. He was uh how do you say it, unique in his own way,
The
you know.
the early 2000s was definitely his own era. You have a lot of guys that definitely took their style to the next level. So I know there's a lot of innovators that were innovating different letter styles and schemes, which is interesting to watch. And also, 50 millimeter was very influential at the moment.
It was almost like the IG of now, but more controlled and more like about just like flexing, you know,
Yeah,
like which crew can bring like the like honestly, that's what it should always like. That's what I'm always about, like
yeah,
trying to impress, you know,
yeah.
like my homies and trying to show them like, look what I could like.
I'm getting
What,
better.
yeah,
I'm
like
getting the higher spot. I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
for me, it's not more really about like. I mean, it is about spots, of course, you know, and painting and all that.
Yeah.
But I personally like have my like I like to see how far I can take it and see what new tricks and new like shit I can do to my letters. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. And I know you mentioned Doug from BTC, right? Shout out to him. Do you meet him while you're out there doing your thing, or do you guys meet through 50 millimeter, or how that friendship come about?
Well, I actually I never met the guy. Like I came in late to BTC. Like
Okay.
I went actually when I came in, I had asked about him and he had like passed away.
Oh, may he rest in peace.
Yeah, so you know, I didn't get to paint with him, but he did like impact me either way. Like you know what I
Okay.
mean? Like heavy.
And how was it for you coming from where you come from and the environment you come from, and now it's like being part of a crew? Because when you get part from a crew, it's kind of like joining another family. Everybody got to coordinate so everybody could be on the same page.
Yeah.
One guy might want to do this, another guy might want to do that, or this guy might just not want to do anything.
Yeah, you know what? There's a lot to a crew, you know, like all crews are different. All my
Yeah,
three crews are different.
yeah,
Like BTC is like, you know, everyone's just crushing shit, born to crush.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everyone's on their own, you know.
Doing their own thing.
But I2W, like, you know, like when I came along with them, they're more like I guess family oriented too, you know
Okay.
what I mean? And I kind of dig that. So, you know, and then GSF is like a bunch of dudes getting it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like just out to paint and destroy shit. You know?
Does ever become not a problem, but kind of a little difficult to maneuver three different communities, right? Because you got these guys, you got these guys, and these guys, and this guy might not want like what you're doing over here with these guys, or hey, maybe you wrote that crew one day, but didn't write this one. Does it ever come like a headache or a problem?
I've had homies kinda I'm not gonna mention any names,
Yeah,
but I've had homies before where they're like, "Dude, like, you didn't hit up this one," and I'm like, "Yo, bro, like, I was in a tough situation,"
yeah,
or, "Yo, like, it slipped," or, "You know what? You pissed me off the other day, so I ain't gonna hit it up." You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, but nah, dude, I honestly treat them all equal. I
Okay,
love all my homies. Honestly, I love all the people that I've met because
yeah,
of graffiti, you know what I mean? You meet a lot of cool people, bro, honestly,
definitely, yeah, yeah,
and a lot of good people. Luckily, I think you attract what you uh what you represent yourself
yeah,
with, and going back to like being from three different crews, like all my homies know that wherever I go, I come with respect,
definitely,
and
yeah.
I come to paint.
Okay,
So I don't think they're worried about like what I'm doing or I mean, I'm also not just gonna get into something where, I know that there's a issue there or whatever.
yeah, yeah,
I move right, you know what I mean?
accordingly.
Mhm.
So, and Boyle Heights, to your knowledge, what was like the very first actual? I know you said LAW.
Mhm.
But a aside of them, was there anybody else you were seeing, like, around your neighborhood or your surroundings as far as a writer?
ALA crew was getting up a lot. um, NCT, Doctor One,
Doctor One?
and it's good seeing him back too because it
Yeah.
kind of brings back a feel of nostalgia and shit. Like
Yeah,
I feel like when I was a kid again, kind of type shit. Growing up, seeing everyone crush it.
yeah.
But yeah, Doctor One, NCTs.
It's kinda like that one song that used to bump when you were getting up, and then you listen to it, and you're like,
It gets you
"Oh."
hyped. I know Saccharon was a big influencer for
Yeah,
me, bro. Yeah,
yeah,
growing up, I used to listen to Saccharon and get like into that mood. Like
yeah.
it get me into the
They were definitely very impactful,
yeah,
when they
yeah.
were coming out, they were
Hip hop
very
had a lot to do with um my interest in graffiti.
yeah.
A lot of influence came from music.
And there's a lot of, correlations between hip hop and graffiti, a lot of people now, I think kind of forget, but I mean, there's like some guys that paint that rap, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah, yeah. I got a couple homies who do that, and even homies who break dance too.
yeah,
I feel like now it's rare to kind of see somebody who's into other elements because
yeah,
graffiti's become its own.
yeah, yeah,
Like there's punk rock fools who are doing
yeah,
graffiti. There's fools probably who listen to cumbia only who write graffiti. Like you know what I mean? Like
yeah. Because for me, bro,
yeah,
I was around nothing but punk rockers growing up, bro,
same here, bro. Like
and I was the only one that dressed like I just dressed like a skater, right? My skateboard or whatever, and these guys over here are like mullets and
it was, what, we didn't fit into that style, huh?
yeah,
I was funny to me because I was a skater too.
yeah,
And so I dressed baggy, Osiris's and all that.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, like, it's a trip when people find out that I like other music or whatever.
Yeah,
Growing
like
up. Because
people look at me like you like that punk song? Like they look
how
at
do
me
you know
like
that,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And so you get down with BTC, right?
Mhm.
And at that point, do you become cry or you still not cry when you're BTC?
I was already cry.
Okay.
Before that, I was with this crew UIS, but
Okay.
and I had so coming up like I didn't really there was no computer or nothing,
Yeah, yeah.
and where I grew up, it was like a lot of gang banging.
Okay.
Um, you go into school, all the kids are tag banging. D2W was a crew that was in our school. D2W,
What school was this?
Hollenbeck,
Hollenbeck?
Hollenbeck Middle
Okay.
School.
Okay.
Um, White fences in the
Yeah.
area. There's the 8th Streeters and all that.
Was it hard to maneuver around those guys? Because I know I could relate to that where you're kind of like this skater graffiti dude, but then you got these hardcore cholos kind of like
I don't know if it comes with age, bro, or if it's changed or what, or if when I was a kid, I just looked like I was looking for trouble.
yeah.
But I get fucked with less now than I used to when I was younger, bro.
Yeah.
And that goes for police too. Police
Okay.
used to just pull me over, just to pull me over, me and my friends.
Yeah. Like, "Yeah, where are
Crash.
you
I
guys
remember
going?"
Crash was like Crash days. Like we used to be like, "Oh, what do you guys want to do today?" And we forget it'd be like Thursday or Tuesday. And be like, "It's Crash Tuesday.
Yeah.
Can't go out right now." Like. But yeah. I young, being young.
Like, were
I
you
had
ever put in a position where, like, kinda like the gang banging was just in the way type thing as far as like messing with
Not
you?
in the way, it's just when I run into them, bro,
Yeah,
like, I had to go through the A Street projects to like, if I didn't wanna go through Soda all the way around to go to the yard, I
yeah,
just cut through the projects,
yeah.
and I think I only did that, like, 3 times before I got beat up the 3rd time, and after that, I didn't go back. I got beat up by dudes that were, like, old enough to be my dad, bro,
But
all the time.
over what though? Over just walking through the projects?
I was heavily in look, man, I'm an idiot when it comes to shit because 'cause I'm not really, like, out there, like looking for trouble, you feel
Yeah,
me? So I was heavily influenced by, hip hop, like I
yeah.
said, and New York was a big influence, and I had a New York hat on,
Uh huh.
walking through the A Street projects, and the Viennese wear that hat. So yeah, so
Oh,
they got me, bro. They
I
beat me
see.
up, and I was like, I'm just, I'm into
Yeah,
hip hop. And they're like,
yeah.
hell nah, boom,
Like we don't care about that down here.
yeah,
You're in the projects.
yeah,
You
yeah,
gonna
but
learn today
yeah,
type thing, huh?
yeah, man. I
I
had,
definitely have those situations too, bro, or with gangbanging for me, where it's kind of like I think about it now, and I'm just like it's crazy
hmm
to reflect back on those memories and
yeah. I mean, like I had my kind of like I dipped my feet into it, like, middle school, I
yeah,
got into, like, not I don't know if it was a crew or what, but I had my taste, bro, and I was like, "I'm not trying to, like, fight dudes every day or try to, uh,
or
see where I can walk or where I can't be
yeah,
because of
be
where I'm
limited to where
from."
you
Yeah,
go,
be limited,
or
exactly.
to where you could go
I'm
is
like, "You get more freedom with graffiti, like, why
yeah,
not? You get to fucking go everywhere and go into these weird places that you never
yeah,
been to and paint, like, I'd rather do that. You guys are just out here, like, beating each other up,
yeah,
and none of you guys even are good at graffiti, probably only one dude, you know?"
yeah, yeah, and so you're with BTC, right? And you're Cry already. How does the Cry come about the name? Is that something from is it just a thought or was there something behind it?
So back to like with UIS, there
Yeah.
was an older head called Sherlock, and he carried like he had a fucking collection of Krylons,
Okay.
and every now and then he like I told you, like I couldn't really get paint too much. So
Yeah.
he'd supply paint and be like, go put up the crew.
Yeah.
So he'd give me those cans and you put a dude, I put a New York on a fucking have you ever put a New York on a Krylon?
Yeah.
You ever used it?
Yeah.
It flares like
I kind of regretted it though
beautifully,
because
bro. Like
now it's very limited. Like I got a couple of them,
yeah.
and every spray that I spray, it's just like tempting. So I
You're
just be like,
guilty, right? Like painting with fucking gold right there.
yeah,
Nah, yeah, man, and it's just like I fell in love with it, and then Krylon was too big, so Cry,
yeah,
and also like, you know, um, I'm very emotional sometimes
yeah,
and
yeah.
shit, so it was fitting name, honestly.
And how did it go from changing the K to a C? Was that something personal?
No, I still I write it however I can spell it. It's
Oh,
just
okay,
whatever
okay,
mood I'm in, you know what I
yeah,
mean? I know that there's other dudes with the same name,
okay,
but to me, honestly, it's like, what can you do with it, bro? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
You just gotta be creative.
be creative with it. See how, because I'm doing my part with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Let the artwork do the talk.
And at what point does I2W come into your life? Because you're already BTC, right? Well, you start UIS, then you go BTC.
I got out of UIS because it was just shout out to the homies from BWS. I never dissed them,
Mm,
but they had beef with them, and
shout
I
out.
that was already like kind of where I was like, and they were trying to spark it up again, and it
Yeah,
was like you fools are kind of like going out for attention type
yeah. I'm
shit,
not trying to be part of that.
and I'm not trying to be a part of all that.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I got a couple homies from BWS
Okay.
and shit.
Shout out BWS.
Mhm.
So I2W, how does that come into your life?
So painting with my homie Sesso.
Okay.
So I linked up with Sesso a little later, but we when we linked like pretty. Uh, basically like brothers and shit.
Okay.
And we had went to Tijuana for Graph Wars, and they were down the way painting, and my homie Sess loves to fucking mingle and shit. That
Yeah.
motherfucker can
You put
talk to
it.
anybody, bro. You put him anywhere, he have a conversation. You put him in here, bro. He had a good conversation with
You
you.
come back, he has a whole circle around him.
Yeah, yeah, bro. And he's just like, "What the fuck? Like, we're outlining this shit right now, you know?"
Yeah.
Nah, but I'm glad he's done that because I've met a lot of people through him too, and
Okay.
Pisto and Digital were one of them because of him.
Shout out all three of them.
And they had already heard about us, yeah, I guess,
Oh, they knew of you already.
of our duo or whatever,
Okay.
and yeah, I guess we just hit it off. Well, we talked there, and then we said we would link in LA, and I had gotten a big ass wall, Warriors wall that we did, and I just invited them. Like, I
Yeah.
just kept inviting them. Pistol's a legend, honestly. Like,
Shout
just
out Pistol.
to be in a crew with that guy is like an honor,
Yeah.
especially everyone in the crew. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, um, yeah. So when I got asked to be, like, I was like, I mean, either they were gonna ask me or I was gonna ask. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So how was that mini vacation? Like you're in LA, right? You're in Boyle Heights, and then you're going all the way to Mexico. Was that your first time there?
Yeah, bro. And I'm Salvi.
Yeah.
I'm telling my homie, like, bro, like, I got no money. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I was like, I was just a kid or whatever, and I was like, I don't want to get into no trouble, bro.
Yeah.
And first thing for sure, like, I had to bill one of the homies. I had to bribe a cop and shit.
To get one of your
I
homies?
was low key nervous, bro. Like, like I've never been out of like really Boyle Heights except for
Yeah.
when I'm out painting with the homies,
Yeah.
and to be in a different, totally fucking different environment where everyone's speaking a different language. Cops can be bribed.
Yeah.
You can go missing, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
What happened to Cry? I don't know.
yeah, exactly. He went to Mexico to go paint and never came back, but nah, I just, like I say, like I don't go nowhere unless like I know someone there,
Okay.
and like I always come with respect. So
How was the environment there as far as the graffiti culture when you arrived? Like, was it already kind of like established to the LA level, or were they kind of still building?
there's a lot of dudes that are out there that are like actually crazier than here, bro. They paint like hot spots all day,
Oh,
and they
damn.
have their bread to
Yeah.
like Scope kills it out there.
Oh, I seen him. Shout out him.
Um
There's a lot of them down
There's a
there.
lot of them down
It's
there,
a big
yeah.
movement
It's
now.
a big, big movement, and, when we were there, they were already crushing, like, there's already
Okay.
dudes that are on our level, just but the only thing there is, like, a different language, you know?
And were they kind of like accepting of you guys? Because I know that they know you're from LA, if you're coming from somewhere else.
We have I'm sorry to cut you off,
No,
but
don't worry about it.
sorry, but, we have a homie out there, Mo, he's, MTA, he got deported.
Okay.
So, back to the same thing, like, we don't really go nowhere unless we're invited, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, it was very, it was cool, like,
Also, Mo established that relationship, and then you guys just came down.
and
Oh,
I
I
painted.
gotcha.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it's different being leaving. Cause that's the whole different world down there than what we know down here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, like the homies were out painting at night and shit, and
Yeah.
during the day, and the homie got beat up by a cop, and
Oh wow.
then I had bribed him that day, and then he had to bribe himself out again the later. It's just crazy, like.
It's a. Dis-
But it's like that anywhere. You go and do graffiti, you're like,
But imagine trying to tell an LAPD like, "Hey, bro, I got $100. Let me go."
fuck no, that camera is gonna get it all, and then you're gonna do more time for
If
that.
was they're gonna get you for all kinds
All
of.
kinds of
It's
shit.
not like they're like, all right, get out of here.
Yeah, nah, you're better off just trying to play it off like you have permission or some shit.
And you say you were down there for war, right?
Yeah, graph wars.
Is that's not the video they were putting out, right? Remember they had wars? I think it was with the who was putting it out? I think it was TKO putting it out.
No, 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 no. This is an event called Graffiti Wars.
Oh, graffiti wars.
Yeah,
Okay,
Graph Wars, and they had. I think we came to number 2 or number 3.
gotcha. Did you see the movies, the war movies they were putting out, the videos?
Yeah, I did.
What you think about those?
They were like skate videos, bro.
Yeah,
Like kind of like you watch them just go out and grill shit. There's
yeah,
a lot of killers in that too. Like a lot of inspiration. A lot of dudes that with a lot of talent.
yeah. To me, that was like the very first graffiti videos I watched. Like,
Yeah, same here.
like
That, but I've what is it? What's the one with scene in it? Graph Wars.
I think so.
Yeah, right.
Was seen?
Yeah.
It's a movie, no? A Wild Style?
Wild Style.
Yeah.
There you go, Graph Wars. Wild Style. That's the one that
Yeah.
really calls to me though,
Yeah.
honestly. Yeah, that one's got all the info you need, you know what I mean?
I watched this one movie when I was in middle school, bro. It was a graffiti movie. I can't remember the name of it, but at the end of the movie, his road dog dies, right? So what he does is he go busts a rooftop,
Oh, I think I seen that
and
on YouTube, huh?
yeah, and then he
I
buffs
think I
it.
think it's called Bomb the System.
No, that was another one.
Oh,
But this
okay.
one was it was two dudes in New York, and I guess their dad was a painter. But long story short, they were bombing together, and his road dog passes away. So he goes to the rooftop and he does like this sick burner,
Mhm.
and then he just buffs it, and then the movie's over.
There was a fucking how do you say them? They're just trying to make a statement
Yeah,
that
like
they're
yeah, they were trying to like
or, you know?
subliminally say something, but
Yeah.
I mean, at 11 years,
It's like I paint this is how it felt when he was here, now this is how it feels how he was gone.
like I 11 years old, bro. Like you're not thinking about subliminal messages. You're just like, bro, what happened here? Like, what's ending? You know?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and so I wanted to talk to you about the graffiti battle that just went down, where I originally met you at, which was it that
South
L.A.
Central
South Central L.A.
with Midway
Midway to L.A.
and the homie
So
LA Unplugged.
it was Chicago versus L.A.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about how you came into the whole situation?
Dude, I had like two homies hit me up on separate threads, like, "Yo, are you down to represent the crew
Yeah,
to battle?" And I at first I thought I was dropping my crew, so
yeah,
I had like already kind of gotten a team together.
yeah.
I had Webs and Pops.
Okay.
Pops is a beast, man.
And these guys are from
BTC,
BTC. Okay.
and I was gonna crush it with them, but then like it kept changing,
Yeah,
honestly, and then like uh, personal issues, I couldn't really be on the thread too much.
yeah,
So I was catching for the BTC, and then when I finally did go check, they're like, "Hey, it's changed. You're not doing crew. Like, do your name." And I only had like I think 3 or 2 days to. I didn't even finish my sketch.
yeah,
I kind of just put in like some letters, and then like I was like, I went with the theme. I went with Cuphead, and I was like, "How am I gonna put these dudes in here?" And
yeah.
just kind of a rough map. And he just told me to have some flames incorporated into it, and I went over there and painted.
And how was it? Did you meet the Chicago guys prior to this, or was this the first time meeting them?
First time meeting them, everyone. It was kind of overwhelming.
So how was so how was the environment like? Because I went down there the second day, right?
Mhm,
And I just got to business. I was like, "Hey, what's up? My name is Ronek. I got no control." And then we started doing what we were doing, right?
mhm.
But you painting, how was it correlating with them? Was it kind of like a rivalry there, or was it all kind of like friendly?
I didn't feel any rivalry,
Yeah.
like, how do you say it? I didn't feel no rivalry
Okay.
from them. But I came in like just to come like have a good time,
Yeah.
dude. Like, and you know, I think everyone there is coming with the mind like I'm gonna do my best to flex.
Yeah.
You know, I talked to them right off the bat. They were cool. I didn't even notice. Actually, I didn't even notice they were doing the big ass dude knocking out the LA guy.
Yeah. When I got there, I was like, "Hold up." This guy did a whole like ninja stomping out of LA guy. Like he
Yeah.
had his whole foot on his foot.
Oh, no, 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 it was his fist up, and then the guy was, like, back, and then he
Yeah.
was just standing over him, and then, like, I guess when I had seen it, like, later, it was already, like, I had been there painting, like
Yeah.
and when you're painting, bro, like, if you're mad and you're painting, dog, there's something wrong with you,
Yeah. Like
because that shit's very
yeah.
therapeutic, you
Yeah. You
know,
shouldn't
so
be doing it if you're mad.
it kinda did I kinda was like, "Man, what the fuck?" And but then I was all like I heard all these funny comments from everyone around us kinda being like, "Yo, what's up with the homie over there?" You know,
Yeah.
We're gonna fucking revive that fool or what?" You know? So, yeah, and, F Dubs was doing the cut, but you see that it's just the communication, and then a lot of people, had backed out for their personal reasons.
Oh, so you were supposed to have more people there, but they
Well,
backed out.
I came in last because people had been calling,
Backing off.
backing off, yeah. So, you know
Oh,
what happens when you try to rush something at the end, everyone's not gonna be
yeah.
you know, planned as well as
Cause
Chicago came,
you guys had out there, you guys had to Create, F
Create,
Dubs,
F Dub,
yourself,
me.
Go Waiter,
Yeah, Viol I forgot how he says his name, but
that
yeah.
guy,
Yeah, yeah.
and then it was 5 of you guys?
Yeah, Go Ater
Okay, Go Waiter,
and Money.
Money, okay.
Mhm.
And how did you guys go about, ruling the winner? Was there a winner called?
You know Chicago took it, man. They came correct, they had a bunch of hitters and,
Yeah,
uh, we weren't really themed up right, you
yeah.
know? I would like to redo the battle,
I heard
like
they're doing another one, but over there in Chicago. So
yeah, in
they're gonna have
Chicago.
Chicago, New York, and LA.
Man, if we gotta host it, then we gotta host it, like, shit. Because 'cause I'm
Yeah,
trying to, like, that it goes back to, painting, like, um when I got into I2W,
yeah,
all of those guys can hold their own weight, and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like, man, finally, like, I'm around dudes who I could paint with them, and I don't have to be looking over and being like, "What are you doing over there?" You know?
yeah.
Like, we're both
Like, yeah, make sure
creating, and, at the end, it's gonna look fucking
dope.
dope together,
Yeah.
you know?
No, that's cool, and then I know some of your I2W members went out there and supported you. I know P45
Yeah,
was out there.
Pistol went out there, and my BTC homies too, my homie
Yeah.
Dems,
Shout out to all of them for
all of the
showing up
homies,
and
yeah.
representing.
Yeah, Pistol's always been, like, a good supporter, bro.
Shout out to
Yeah,
him.
yeah, he's like a big brother too and
I
shit.
call him the Godfather of God No Control because he was my first one in in the studio.
The OG, bro. He's an OG, bro, through and through, always.
Can you talk a little bit about the I2W 30-year anniversary?
It was great, except for the fact that I couldn't get back in.
Why?
I had my kid with me, and I kind of had her with me at the beginning
Yeah.
of the event, and then I kind of I went to drop them off at the babysitter
Uh huh.
because I lived like 10 minutes away from where the event
Okay.
was.
Okay.
Because I wanted to smoke and
Yeah. Yeah.
do whatever, and I don't want to do that around my kids. So
Yeah.
when I came back, it was just fucking full, and the securities were tripping on me. I'm like, dude, I'm an artist here.
Yeah.
And it kinda got to the point where, like, if I kept pushing the issue, me and the security guard were probably gonna get into it,
Yeah.
and I didn't wanna, like, cause
Gotcha.
any of that shit,
Yeah.
so
I went down there, and for me, it was amazing to witness everybody coming together and everybody having a great time. And then a lot of people that follow God No Control came up and said hello, and
mhm.
we just kind of connected and talked. And it was an amazing thing, man. I was just happy to witness the 30-year anniversary and many more years to come.
Did you go to the 25th?
I didn't make it to a 25th.
That one was pretty still too. It was at, here in Long Beach at, I
Uh,
forgot what that place is called.
Homeland?
Homeland.
Okay. With
Yeah,
Steam.
with Steam. Yeah,
Yeah.
Steam was the one who got it together there and shit.
How was that one down there?
It was great,
Yeah.
it was awesome. The second one was great too, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was at the brewery, and I feel like, I came as hard as I possibly could. I did a cutout, did all this
Yeah.
shit, did a fucking ceramic, a clay, tentacle holding a marker and shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you see yourself doing in the future as far as art in general? Like, I know I seen a post of you. I think you were painting a gym.
Yeah, so, graffiti has kinda given me, what I have now,
Yeah.
like money, food, and everything. Because I mean, that's what I do, for a living. I'm a sign painter too.
Okay.
Um, I went in I went into sign graphics,
Also, you made the transition of like, I want to get some.
make some money,
Yeah.
like, I mean, not really off of graffiti because, graffiti is respects to graffiti and,
Yeah.
that's what it is. If you get into it for money, then that's the wrong reasons. But
Definitely.
I just was looking for, like, I was tired of working labor jobs,
Okay.
and I was like, I kept hearing like do something you love for a living. And if it wasn't for the people that I've met, like
Yeah.
the homegirl Val, she tattoos that spotlight. She
Shout out Val.
Yeah, and Argon too.
Argon.
Yeah, they had put me onto the class, and my homie Sean too.
Okay.
Um, they kind of like guided me into that, and yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm painting murals and shit
Okay.
for schools, and I'm a sign painter too.
And how was it adjusting to that? Because you come from a world where it's kind of like open ball game, right? So
Mhm.
you're kind of like, I choose my color scheme, I choose how I coordinate my letters. So now you kind of have someone kind of telling you, like, hey, maybe don't do it like that, do it like this, or hold the brush like this, or use this ink, or use that. Was it kind of hard adjusting to that?
Well, when I went into sign graphics, my main concern was I've never used a brush like
Okay.
to do this shit. Like
Yeah.
what the fuck, and it just came, bro, with practice. You just got
Yeah.
to put in your hours, bro. Like if you really want something, you're going to do it.
Definitely.
And that's how I was with graffiti. Like I came up and I wasn't good like right off the bat.
Okay.
Like I sucked. I was fucking looking at a stupid alphabet letter to imitate it. And it just comes with time. You gotta put in your 10,000 hours or more. And, I feel like I've always done my homework, because I really wanted to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, same thing with the sign painting. I wasn't, used to the brushes, but it came naturally. Because like,
You put in your hours.
why wouldn't you listen to somebody who knows what they're doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's a teacher for a reason.
Yeah.
Listen to him,
And
take
you're
what you
paying to
can.
be there.
Yeah, take what you can, and then like and it's crazy because I've worked in different jobs too with like historic restoration, and that's how I came about doing that clay um uh tentacle for my piece for the 30th anniversary. I
Yeah.
don't know if you got to see it.
Yeah. I seen that. I videotaped it all.
Um uh you know till now I'm all these years later I'm incorporating everything that I've learned
Okay.
uh in my other in sign painting and how do you say it, plaster and all that.
Okay.
incorporating it over how do I pronounce this?
Incorporating.
Yeah, that into my art. There you go.
Looking back into your journey, how you started and what you achieved today, how does that make you feel, brother? Like you came from just doodling off an alphabet letter to now getting paid and now going to school and becoming a sign painter.
It's kinda mind-boggling, bro, like, if I mean, it's I gave a lot of credit to people I met,
Yeah.
shout out to my homie, Middle,
Okay.
he put me on he gave me an opportunity at, Middle from GSF RK.
Okay.
He
Shout
put
out
me
middle.
on to working, the murals and actually kinda kick started my career with it and, just being thrown into the fire,
Yeah.
like because you don't know you wanna do it, and then when you're there, you're like, "Fuck, what if I fuck this up? What if I don't do it right?" But
You
it's
just
just like, you just gotta do it, bro.
you become your biggest critic to yourself.
Yeah, and it's like, don't cripple yourself, just go out there and try it. The worst thing that can happen is you fail, but you gotta learn from your mistakes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, yeah, bro, like, it trips me out that now I'm, like, working and doing art for a living, you know?
But it's an amazing feeling.
It really is,
It's like
yeah.
how they say
It's a blessing.
when you find what you do and you do it for a living, is it's no longer work.
Yeah, now it's just kinda like, trying to figure out how to keep it consistent,
Yeah,
and I think it just comes with, always, giving it your all to every project you're in,
definitely.
no matter how, like, interesting or boring or cool it is, you know?
And hopping a little bit back into the graffiti topic, battering was something that was done a lot back then. Is that something that you ever took part in, and is it important to you? I mean,
Eh,
obviously you took part in the battle with Chicago, but I
I feel
mean,
like people don't wanna battle, I feel like people wanna fight more,
yeah,
because it's like, you know, I would love to battle, if things could be set that way, then cool,
yeah.
but there's a lot of pride when it comes to graffiti, and
When losing or
when
whatnot,
losing or when going over somebody, and it's just about respect, like,
yeah.
really, you just gotta fucking be respectful,
Do you think?
and, battling, I'm all for it.
Do you think what I mean for me back then, right? It was said that if you see a tag, right, and you go over with a throw up, fine. You see a throw up,
But that applies all day,
you
bro.
go over it with a bomb, fine. You see a bomb, you come with a burner, fine. Does that apply to you? Like,
Yeah,
do you move that way?
yeah, I do, but, I'm more of, like, sometimes I'm just like, if I see, like, it's a tag that's, like, somebody,
Yeah.
and it's a nice ass tag, and even I'm a fan of it, I'm like, "Oh, I'll
Uh,
just go look for another," because there's millions of spots, you could
yeah.
find something, bro, like, and you can tell, like, "Oh, this cat probably only started doing his shit, so I'm gonna go over this ugly shit right here."
Yeah, because I know
Yeah.
I've been in a situation once or twice where like, bro, I can't even read that tag, bro. Like,
Yeah, no, go over it, I mean, but just make sure you completely, cover it.
yeah,
Like, even, painting, like, I painted a spot with the homie Corte not so long ago, a while back, actually, but, we went there and I was like, "We're gonna start sketching." I don't wanna risk people coming by.
yeah,
Even though it's all ugly, I don't wanna risk people coming by and feeling tickled that we're, like, sketching over it.
yeah,
So I was like, "Let's buff this shit
yeah,
first,
and then do
and then
it.
sketch over it, because
Yeah,
now it's completely gone. People are passing by, all they see is our sketch."
yeah,
So
yeah.
just kinda being mindful about it,
I feel you on that. And how do you feel about innovation in graffiti? I feel like every couple years you got new innovators. Like today, right? We have people like I don't know if they're MSK, but like Rams and
Vain.
those guys hanging from the building, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about that type of innovation? Like, is that something that you think about? Like,
That's
maybe.
superhero shit to me, bro. Honestly, those guys are superheroes,
Yeah,
bro. Yeah, man, they're killers. Like, that's they're like overly dedicated to the craft, to their
yeah,
craft, and they live and breathe that shit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I think, like I said, like, everyone's in it for their own reasons,
yeah,
and some people are gonna come with new ways to paint on buildings. Some people are gonna come with new ways to bend a letter.
yeah,
Like, everyone brings something different to the table, and that's what's so cool about graffiti. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just like, I mean, it is just getting up and all that,
yeah,
but there's more to it. Like, creative wise.
yeah. Because I feel like innovation is it's crazy because you never know what the next guy's gonna come out with.
I think that's what I always think of when I'm, like, trying to come up with my own letters too.
Yeah,
Like, my own style. Like, always be original and try to come up with your own shit.
Yeah, man. Because the other day I seen that they have a machine now that all they do is they give it the image and it paints the mural by itself.
Bro, there's a AI. The homie Zio was fucking around on his. They have it on Instagram,
Yeah,
and he typed in graffiti piece or
yeah.
whatever, or he said Zio, and then like it took a bunch of pictures from the internet and collaged them. Ugly, but imagine with like time, it's probably gonna get better. You know.
You think AI is gonna affect the graffiti world? Because I mean, I know some guys
It
get
probably will. It will affect everything, dude.
yeah,
Jobs,
yeah.
everything, dude. Everything. Artwork is artists like art in general. It's dangerous because corporations can just type in whatever, and they're not gonna hire artists anymore.
Yeah, 'cause
Now
like,
you gotta
hey,
make it on your own. You gotta like we
I
gotta figure out new ways
I
to
need a
sell.
graffiti piece, green and black reggae style with a monkey. Boom. Psh, all right, let's
Or if
go.
you're starting like say got no control, you're like oh got no control. I'm starting my new podcast. Can you make me 3 different sketches of got no control and
Yeah,
graffiti
and then boom, they're
instead
there.
of instead of hiring the homie, to do it. The homie Cry to do it for you. you know?
Yeah, man, it's like it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
20, 50 years from now, brother, how do you see graffiti? You think it's still gonna be as energetic as it is today?
I think it's gonna evolve. I think it's been evolving. Like, people are like making pieces out of styrofoam, like 3D wise.
Yeah,
Like just different ways of like making it,
yeah, yeah,
like I don't know. I hope I could come up with something new. I always try to,
yeah.
think outside the box, but yeah, I feel like it's gonna evolve, hopefully in a good way. I think it will because, it's art at the end of the
Gotcha.
day.
At any point, New York, has a big influence in the whole graffiti culture worldwide, right? At any point that any type of contact with graffiti in New York comes into your life, like maybe meeting a graffiti writer from New York or anything similar of that nature?
Nah, just the homies that have been to New York, and
Yeah.
if I've forgotten, I'm sorry, but my memory's kind of bad, but yeah, I mean, just homies that have been. I'm trying to go out there.
Yeah.
I have a homie out there actually, the homie Sucio, he's out there.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been working and shit.
Have you got to travel like to paint like out of the United States or maybe out of it?
I went and painted in Hawaii.
How was that?
It was beautiful, bro. It was amazing.
Was that for personal pleasure or for work?
Personal pleasure.
Yeah.
Me
Okay.
and my girl, we went out there to visit her family,
Yeah.
visit her dad and shit, and yeah, we squeezed in painting. We went out there to go, see where she's from because my girl's Hawaiian.
Okay.
So we went over there and checked out the yards, and my lady, shout out to my lady Tease, she's painted with the salt.
Okay.
He's a
Shout out.
killer out there.
Yeah.
Like that man is insane how he paints. But
And,
she showed me some yards, and I had my eye, and we hit a good spot out there.
oh, so you just went out there and said, like, "Screw it, whatever I see is cool. I'm gonna hit."
Yeah, it just feels different from LA, man. LA feels like you can like
Life is just
run
so
into
much
a
fast
lot,
out
yeah,
there.
fast, and it's just like it could turn ugly real quick, bro.
Yeah.
You know.
How are the people down there, like, as far as graffiti culture? Are they pretty
They
much
don't I mean, they're really sacred, so, I mean, even me saying this, I'm sorry if I offended any,
Yeah.
people, because I do come with like I always say, I always
Yeah.
come with respect. I only graffitied wherever it was already graffitied,
Okay.
and then that other spot was an abandoned spot that I got, so
But it's not like LA where you go to down to LA and it's everywhere.
They have an arts district spot
Oh,
in
they do?
Honolulu, yeah,
Oh,
it's like
okay.
it's like arts district vibes,
Oh,
like,
nice.
they have a powwows out there, and they
Oh,
Mhm.
cool. How is it, bro? Like, I know you mentioned a girlfriend, just not to get too deep into it, but how is it kind of telling your girlfriend, like, hey, just to let you know, I paint graffiti?
My girl writes graffiti.
Oh, okay. So you had it
Yeah,
easy.
and yeah, basically,
Okay.
like I mean, have you ever worked with another artist?
Yeah.
Sometimes you clash heads, it's
Yeah.
inevitable because we both eh, people have different ways of doing things.
Yeah.
But I feel like I respect her and she respects me in a way where we listen to each other and then kind of find that we look at both options and then we're like, yeah, I think this one's the one. And then,
Okay.
you know,
'Cause I know I've seen a lot of, people conversating that it's impossible for a graffiti male writer and graffiti female writer to kinda exist as a relationship just because so much comes into it.
I think it's like just because you write graffiti, it don't mean that you're a bad person.
Yeah,
You know, I'm like I'm family oriented.
yeah,
I love my kid.
yeah, yeah,
I love my family. I love my girl. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And she's very family oriented too.
Okay,
And I think at the end of the day, it just comes down to do you trust your partner or not?
I
Who
got you.
you with and who where you meet your partner at. It's just with anything, bro. Like it doesn't just have to be how do you say? It can be anybody who's gonna be.
Because I got a friend of mine, just to throw it out there, I got a friend of mine, right, that he's like, "Oh, I couldn't date a chick that paints graffiti because all the homies are gonna want her." And I'm like, "Bro, you can't think like that, bro.
Bro, you got a bad bitch. Every dude's gonna want her.
No
You go
matter."
out to a bar. How many dudes look at your girl?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're not looking at your girl, they're not looking at your girl. But no, look. But it goes to this though. Like I trust my girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And she's respected, and you know what I mean. Like she doesn't give me no reason for me to feel a funny way about her, and what she does. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Because she takes it serious.
But that must be a great feeling, though, having a ride or die next to you, and it's like you guys both share the same passion.
Yeah, like I said, man, graffiti kinda gave me everything that I got, bro. I got lucky, like,
Yeah,
honestly, bro, like and maybe it's just karma because I've always came in, like I said, like, respectful and just trying to learn and trying to link up and trying to
yeah.
paint and create.
What is your personal take on the talk of the town, the building, the skyscraper in downtown LA? How do you feel about it?
I love it.
Yeah,
I wish I would've gotten word earlier,
yeah,
and all my homies, man, you guys should have told me from the fucking gate because I'm not gonna lie, I went late,
yeah.
and, it was just too much attention, bro. Like I went in, I fucking stopped at the corner, looked up, and first question was like, who am I gonna go over? So
Yeah,
that's already like
yeah.
And then it's like there's a cop parked right there, there's a cop in the other corner, and there's a cop in the other corner. And then I'm like, all right, well, fuck, they see me, I
Yeah.
guess. And then I turn again, fucking four dudes walking in. Like, and it's like
So
it's there, I don't know who's up in there,
it's too much going on.
too much going on. It's just too much attention, so I didn't hit it,
So it's
man.
like,
But
yeah, I'm gonna have to
but
step
shout
away.
out to all my homies who did,
If I would
and
have found out a couple of days early.
yeah, man, I would have done something nice up there, bro. Honestly.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
got a couple questions before we get out of here. One, what can you say to that kid today that's kind of like telling himself, I want to start painting too?
I say go for it. Like to me, it's like I like to read the kid and see if they're just in it for because just to be part of like what's going on or like are they really interested? I ran into a kid at RD's. Shout out to RD
Yeah.
Art Supplies, and he started following me, and I've been nice to the kid because when I was growing up, gatekeeping was a big thing.
Yeah.
Everything that I've kind of learned, I learned on my own.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, and it goes like to becoming a dad too. Like I want to get if my kid shows interest in whatever,
Yeah.
like my kid's into music,
Yeah.
so guitar. Bought her a guitar because I
Okay.
want her to have the materials to do what she wants.
Yeah.
And that's what to that kid like that I have met. Like he asked me for a sketch, gave him a sketch,
How old was the kid?
like probably like 10 or 11.
Okay.
He's still a kid and probably in elementary or something. But he's really into it. He was up in there with his grandpa fucking buying paint. His grandpa was buying him shit. And I was like, lucky little kid, bro. You know, um, so yeah, like I just, influence. And my homie says so too. He said, like, I like dropping pieces in weird little alleyways
Yeah.
because you never know that one kid that's gonna walk by it and be
Uh,
like, fuck, I wanna do that shit.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I had an
So just
experience too where I was in the city, my hometown, and they're having a little event, and I was there like painting and stuff, and this kid comes up, a little kid, bro. He was probably like 10, 11 years old with his dad.
like, hey, mister.
And his dad's all like all cholo.
Oh shit.
And he's like, I paint. And I'm like, I looked at him, I'm like, for real? Like, yeah. And he starts telling me his name and whatnot, and his dad comes, and I'm like, oh, here he comes. He just start tripping.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son's pretty good. He's getting good, hey.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, that's what's up, man. Keep going. Keep going, bro. Keep pushing.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta keep
I
going.
gave him a can. I'm like, don't give up, bro. Keep going.
Did he spray it?
Now he just took it with him. Like it was just like his face was priceless, bro. When he grabbed the can, it was like, here, bro, for
The
you.
all our I think, I've been around a lot of kids, like, painting, like,
Yeah,
the homies ladies pull up with their kids, and
yeah,
we always give them a spray can to,
yeah.
like, try put a
Just to,
bandana over their
yeah. So it
nose so
was
they don't
valid,
breathe it and shit,
just
yeah.
to mess around.
Yeah, but I mean, if the kid's into it, like, I always influence, like, go for it, you know? Just do it right, you know what I mean?
I got one last question for you. We're getting out of here. Favorite sneakers you like to rock when you're painting?
Vans, probably.
Vans.
Vans, man, because it's, like, cheap, or, like, I mean, um, it depends. If I'm in the yard, I'll rock beaters, bro, like, I
What are
rock, like
beaters?
just my old shoes, whatever
Oh,
shoes I got, like I mean, all my clothes got paint. Like, I'm lucky to even find this shit today that didn't have paint on it. You know,
Yeah, because
like
some guys be like, "Oh, I only paint with the Jordan 4s." I was like, "Good luck, fool. I'm not."
I got a homie like that too. The homie Blur be painting with his fucking Nikes and shit. Yeah, he's crazy. He be out there
Like
with his Nike
I'm not
shoes.
going to a yard looking fresh, bro. Believe me, I'm not. You're gonna see me with the most dirtiest thing I got on,
Yeah,
bro.
you
Like,
know what? I went in and painted this freeway, and they were doing construction on the fucking ground, and I went in there with my Air Maxes
yeah,
because I was like, oh, I'm gonna wear these. Man. I could run better in these, you
yeah.
know. And nah, dude, the shit was it rained the day before. I had
Ah,
like
a
uh,
gunk of mud.
it was like cement, dude. Like it felt
And
like I
you
was
ruined the
walking with
shoe.
cylinder blocks and shit. Yeah, ruined them.
Anything that you regret doing or not doing, bro, in your whole graffiti journey?
Mm, not getting up enough when I had the chance.
Yeah, when you were younger.
When I was younger, yeah, maybe taking more advantage of that.
I hear you.
Probably that, but either way though, I mean, I've had my adventures and and I've met my people and shit, and I'm still gonna meet more people and you know.
Many years to come.
Mhm.
And again, brother, I want to thank you for taking the time to coming down here and then chopping it up with me for a bit.
Thank you for having
You
me.
got any
And,
shout outs though?
and before we and before we get on out of here, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to my girl T's. Shout out to my crews I2W, GSF, BTC, and shout out to my homie Middle and the homie Zeo. About it.
She, you heard from the man himself. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to check out gotnocontrol.com. Get yourself a hoodie, a t-shirt, a sticker pack. All support is welcome, and we're out. Until next time. Peace.